Batmobile. Let's go. Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed. You're ready to move out.
Well, we introduced each other, so why are we here? Tell us a little bit about that, Chris.
Well, I've known about Will and his fan film site for a couple of years now. At one time, even contributed articles and interviews to Fanboy Theater.
Yes, I'm the man.
You are the man. And this past summer, I discovered this interesting media called the podcast. I thought it'd be so much more personable to provide audio interviews with the creators behind these films. You don't get their personalities or sense of humor on a static page. I didn't want to do this alone, so I contacted Fanboy Will to see if he'd be interested in co-hosting the internet's first fan film podcast, because we all know that the internet certainly needs another podcast. And I think you mentioned you were having the same thoughts of a podcast when I contacted you.
Definitely. I was like, there's only maybe... I can actually think of one, which is Infamous Jackson Brothers. I'd like to say hello to them, by the way.
Right.
And they're kind of pioneers in the fan film podcast form, so just want to give a special shout out to those guys.
Absolutely, they do it all on
kind of blazing the trail.
They do it on video, actually.
Yeah, these guys have a video, so they have the upper hand. So they're going to outshine us all the time.
That's okay. We can be second best. I think I can.
As long as they're doing a good job, and they are. So.
When there's only two and we're second best, is that good?
That's going to be our motto, Fan Film Podcast. Second is good enough.
Yeah, right?
For those of you who may not know in the audience already, and who doesn't, what exactly is a fan film? Chris, could you give us a little bit of the definition or something?
What an unexpected question.
Yes.
Luckily I have...
I'm famous for those.
I have a definition freshly stolen from the internet. According to Wikipedia, fan film is a film or video inspired by a film, television program, comic book, or a similar source created by fans rather than by the source's copyright holders or creators. Fan filmmakers have traditionally been amateurs, but some of the more notable films have actually been produced by professional filmmakers as film school class projects or as demonstration reels. Fan films vary tremendously in quality as well as in length, from short Fox, how do you say that? Fox teasers?
Fox teaser actually trailers? Faux.
Okay, thank you. Faux teaser trailers for non-existent...
I'm half French.
Yeah, I'm half illiterate. Faux teaser trailers for non-existent motion pictures to rare full-length motion pictures. Here we go. Here's a loaded question. What will people be able to expect from our podcast, Will?
Well, you're going to get news on fan films. You're going to get reviews of fan films. You're going to get our views on fan films. Anything else that can rhyme with you, we'll have. Most importantly, we'll be talking to many of the talents behind these movies. But we're also open to suggestions from the listening audience. So if you guys have any questions or would like to join in on the discussion, throw us an email at info@fanfilmpodcast.com.
Cool. So we'll be talking about Sue and
Send your death threats.
Pooh and...
So what else we got today? Christopher, you got anything there?
Yeah, actually, I've got a little Q&A for you. I know we didn't plan it, but I thought it'd be fun.
Damn it.
So
why can't this be about comics?
Just going to throw that out to you. Yeah, it's going to be easy. It won't be hard. It's painless. So basically, I'm going to interview you real quick.
Okay, I'm ready.
Is that okay? Clear the throat?
Yes. I got my firm handshake ready, and I'm going to look you in the eye.
Do you need a lozenge or something?
Yeah, I need a Ricola.
A cherry lozenge.
Somebody hook me up.
Okay. All right.
Ricola action.
I just jotted down a few questions before we started here. I thought it'd be interesting to get a little more information on you.
Okay.
All right, simple question. What got you into fan films?
What got me into fan films? Basically, I was attending college at FIT in Manhattan. This was probably around 2000. What was it? Yeah, that's 2000 or so. And my friend Eric was like, "Did you see that new Spider-Man film on the internet?"
Oh.
I'm thinking to myself, Spider-Man film on the internet, and this is way before, the Sam Raimi one. He introduced me to a film called The Green Goblin's Last Stand. This is a film by Dan Poole.
Right.
The guy made it on a shoestring budget. Was he in college at the time?
I'm not sure.
I think he might have been in film school.
I think it was like $500 was the final budget for the film.
Yeah,
do I recall
and
correctly?
Believe it or not, I looked at this thing and I was like a normal person did this.
Right.
I was really impressed by it.
And yeah, keep in mind it was the early '90s, so
Yeah.
it did it did age. So if you're comparing it to the films that are coming out now, I mean, obviously technology was different. But anyways, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're definitely going to notice. So it just seems so cool. It's like this guy made his own fan film with a shoestring budget, and it looks good. And it's the spider suit looked at the time really good.
Right.
These days, it leaps and bounds with the Lycra and all that shit.
Right.
But back then you had your old, you had to make your own out of your mom's old pillowcases or whatever I had laying around the house. But no,
the curtains.
This don't look good. I'm not gonna insult the suit.
Right.
I'm not gonna insult the Green Goblin, also, who looked really, really good in the movie.
Right.
I thought the masks looked better than the film than that stupid robot thing that had, going on in the Sam Raimi version. What the hell is that?
Yeah. Well.
I am the Green Goblin. Must transform. And he flies away. So basically, that film kind of got me hooked. I was, I'm thinking to myself, if this film was on the internet,
right.
I mean, there's got to be fan films for pretty much everything. That's when I got introduced to Star Wars fan films. And I was at the Force.net.
Yep.
The infamous Force.net, which is the greatest fan film site for specifically Star Wars fan films.
Yeah. And plus they have others.
They do a great job over there.
Yeah.
It's the Force.net, I believe, is the exact address if you want to go check it out. But yeah, these films, talk about amazing, some of these things. Man. I think Dark Redemption was the first big one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the first one that I've ever seen. As far as we're talking, the first fan films we ever watched was mine was Dark Redemption.
You know more about the Star Wars stuff than I do. So
you put me on the spot here. What do you want to know?
I want to know everything, and I want to know right now. Go. Feel no pressure.
I love them. They're good. The end.
I like Star Wars fan films. They make me feel happy.
Exactly. No, Dark Redemption was very cool. There was actually a guy who was in the original Star Wars who was in Dark Redemption. So
who was that again? Was that Prowse?
No, it wasn't David Prowse. It was when the Millennium Falcon went into the Death Star there, and the Death Star guy said P-32, can you copy or whatever? And all the Star Wars
that was him.
All the Star Wars fans are going to say, that's wrong. That's not what he said.
Exactly. We're going to get totally grilled on that.
This is off the cuff, though. But yeah, he was.
That is wrong, I say. I have my Facebook right here. And my Star Wars lightsaber.
The rebels will soon see the true power of the Empire. TK-341, why aren't you at your post?
But anyways, that was the dude. If you remember who I'm talking about.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't have
That was a good flick, man.
I don't have Star Wars memorized. I'm sorry, I'm not a good geek.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible fanboy. Bad fanboy. Bad.
We'll get a spanking later.
You didn't know I was going to say that, did you?
There was hardly any, literally none, fan film websites until I came across fanfilms.net. They were one of the first fan film sites I ever discovered. And to this day, I still use them. I go back and forth to fanfilms.net. I don't know if you do.
Yeah, that's where I get a lot of my stuff.
They're really good. They keep up to date. They have a news section. You can go on there. It gives you all their latest links. And it's also got a huge archive of films, so I definitely suggest that as a resource for you if you want to find good stuff. Fanfilm.net. And so I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to do my own site. So put a little work into it. Did a couple little small reviews that weren't even that great, and threw together this little show, this little website. And I was getting fan mail within like the first 2 weeks that it was up. One of them, the first one was probably from Chris. He was like, "Thank you so much for reviewing my film. It was the best review I've ever gotten so far." And all that stuff. So that gave me confidence. It made me feel wanted in the community and all that stuff. So I figured I'm going to be here as a tool. So I am a tool already.
that was exactly what came to my mind.
But besides that, I listen to Tool, and I am a tool. But besides that, I said, let me use my website to help people promote their films, and I've been doing it ever since. It's been 6 years now.
Wow.
And I get up to about 800 to 1,000 hits a day on my site.
Wow.
So, I'm spreading the word. I've gotten word from as far as Mexico. I've gotten word from Australia. I've gotten people from China that have sent me fan films. I mean, it's incredible. The fan film base in the world is just so vast, and I never thought it would become the phenomenon it is.
No.
Like, I never expected it. It's absolutely insane. I'll tell you a little story. Recently, I got a letter from Mr. David Noble, who is the author of Fan Films Quality.
Yeah.
Fan Films Quarterly.
Quarterly. Yep. That's all right.
Fan Films Quarterly.
It's quality and quarterly.
Yeah, it is a quality publication.
And he's in Iraq right now.
Yeah, he's out there. He's a soldier over there doing his job for our country.
God bless him.
So definitely, God bless him, and best of luck to you, and thanks for doing it.
Yeah. When he gets back, we'll have to have him on here, but.
When he comes back, he'll be able to give us a little info on Fan Films Quarterly, and he can also tell us a little about maybe his favorite films, what got him into the whole thing, and stuff like that. But he said he was in a market in Iraq, and he was looking through a bunch of DVDs. And what did he come across? He comes across Return of the Ghostbusters.
Shit.
And for any of those people who don't know, it's basically it's the sequel to it's one of the most highly anticipated fan film sequels ever, because a little guy by the name of Hank Braxton, he's always been a friend of FBT, so I want to say hello to Hank. And but Hank, he did this little film back when called Freddy vs. Ghostbusters. Pretty much self-explanatory. Freddy looked great, and the movie was really, really funny. So that's kind of like the Braxton trademark. He's more for the humor. And that's all good because he does it really well. Yeah. Another guy by the name of Larry Longstreth, who's a very good humorous guy, did I'm going to shoot Batman in the face. Or Batman's going to get shot in the face. Which is
that's the Flash. Is that the Flash?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But they're all talking shit about Batman.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hey, Bruce, it's me. Just wanted to let you know that you can just ignore the bat signal tonight. Oh, jeez, I see you're all dressed up. Well, Green Lantern and I took care of it. Just a bank robbery. Really, nothing big. You didn't miss anything. I know it takes you a good amount of time to suit up and slap on the old bat belt or whatever. So again, I apologize. And well, yeah. Well, anyways, Cave looks great. Give Alfred my best, and maybe next time.
You got any other questions for me?
I certainly do. I was waiting for you to finish.
All right. Well, it doesn't really end at Star Wars. It's kind of like, everything has a fan film for it these days. Like, you got your Star Trek, you got your Star Wars, you got your Raiders of the Lost Ark, you got your Batman, which is huge.
Right. Everyone and their mother's making a Batman fan film.
Because of one specific film. Can you tell them what that is and what's so special about that film?
You must be talking about Dead End.
I am definitely talking about that.
What's special about it?
Yeah.
It's a great fan film. There's predators in it. Walter Koenig's son is in it. I don't know. What...
It is just it's just amazing to look at. It's just like you're looking at a comic book.
Right.
It's It's just, like the shots.
Well, it was very Frank Miller, at least.
Oh, yeah, and the Batman in it, this looks like fantastic.
Did you know that the Joker was Walter Koenig from played Chekhov on Star Wars or Star Trek? Uh-oh, the fanboys are gonna get me now. In Star Trek, he was
also Boner on Growing Pains.
Oh, no kidding! I didn't realize.
I swear
that.
to God, the Joker was Boner at one point. Yes. Yes, the Joker's got a. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something.
Joker's been taking some Viagra, I guess, is what you're trying to say.
Boner Joker.
What's the matter, freak? Can't take a little joke?
You're pathetic.
Oh, that's rich, coming from someone who runs around in the dark, wearing a cape and a mask.
Both wear masks.
Look at my face. This is who I am. My mask is permanent. You have a choice.
You made your choice a long time ago, Joker.
No! You did this to me, and you condemned me to that asylum like some bastard child that you refused to take responsibility for! That's why you'll never kill me, Bats. You made me, Daddy.
So, yeah, I mean, like, the Joker looked sick.
Yeah.
It was, like, completely evil looking. And the Predators and the aliens just looked, right off the screen. They were that good, and the fight was great between Batman and everybody.
And this was also when fan films were kind of in their infancy, so...
Exactly. Which makes it even more impressive.
Right.
When you look at it today, And that one still stands up.
Oh, absolutely.
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 That one has really not aged too much. So.
And then they did their follow-up there, World's Finest. What's that guy's
Yeah,
name?
that's right.
Sandy, what the hell's his last name?
Sandy I believe it's Cholera, or it might be Colora. Okay. I'm not sure.
So the follow-up
if it's Cholera, I feel bad because I feel like I make the fun of it.
Not really.
Could be a bad thing. But yeah, and he was, I believe, funded by, wasn't it Winston?
Winston, the butler from Lara Croft? Winston who?
No, the big special effects guy, Stan Winston.
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know.
I believe he was funded for that movie by him.
Ooh.
But he had a pretty sizable budget for that film because he was in film school and he knew all the right people. So he got himself a nice chunk of change to work with.
Nice. Okay.
No real dialogue in the film except between Batman and Joker for like a couple seconds there. Like,
right.
You made me, now I made you. I'm your daddy.
Who's your daddy?
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Yeah, who's your daddy, Joker?
Okay, I got another
That's
question
your
for
white
you.
ass.
Got another question for you. What's your favorite fan film to date, and why?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Wow. It's probably going to be a toss-up between Dead End, World's Finest. I'm trying to think of the other ones that are really, really up there for me.
Well, I'll help you out. Mine probably that I've watched 100 times is Grayson.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's another Batman one.
Very good.
That was, talk about a trailer. That's like a fan trailer.
Right. And of course, I was the idiot that watched it and then emailed the guy saying, when's the movie coming out?
I can't wait till that comes out. That looks awesome.
And he emailed me back, not.
Hate to break it to you, dude. I spent about $10 billion on that. So we're not going to be in a movie theater.
It was like 20 grand, I think he blew on that one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
$20,000?
Yeah.
Wow. Where do you get that fundage from?
I don't know. There's a few bank robberies in L.A. they haven't figured out yet.
It's crazy. Yeah, but that was a very, very impressive film.
It's hard to believe he's gone. For all his triumphs, I fear that even in death he will find no peace, nor will those who fought beside him. Still, we must move forward, and while others will come to accept that his crusade has come to an end, for Dick Grayson, it begins again.
Even though it was a trailer, I consider it a film because it was that good.
Okay, I'll let you.
So yeah, I'd say Nightmare ends on Halloween.
Yeah,
Chris
that's okay.
Notarelli's film.
I'm not a big horror fan, but it was well
I'm
done.
not really either, but that was such a good versus film.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got your Freddy, which is the huge franchise. You got your Michael Myers Halloween franchise.
Right.
And they're both button heads. And top of it all up, it and has kind of a special surprise. You might want to check it out for yourself. I don't want to ruin it for anybody,
don't
but
raise any hell now, Will.
I am not going to raise any hell. No pun intended on my end.
Exactly.
But on Chris's end, I'm sure it was.
Freddy Krueger, did you think it would be that easy? Did you think you could hide us? No, I think not. Your reign of evil is now over. You escaped hell once. Now you must pay hell's price. We will tear your soul apart.
That was actually the first film I ever reviewed on this site. Was Nightmare Ends on Halloween.
Okay.
Yep. Made good friends with Chris Notarelli. Been talking to him on and off since that film came out.
Right. And you were in...
I actually met him at a convention.
Right.
I saw the film playing on some TV monitor, and I walked over. I said, "That's Nightmare Ends on Halloween." I'm like, "What if that's Chris Notarelli?" I'm like, "Are you Chris Notarelli?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, I'm Fanboy." He's like, "Oh!" And we're like, "Hey, man." And we're just geeking it out back and forth. It must have been about an hour and a half of just gabbing.
Right.
Like, yeah, what's your film? Let's talk more about fairy films and comics.
It's amazing how much notoriety. I mean, it's a small, section of the fanboy and / girl community, but it's amazing how much notoriety these fan filmmakers and the actors and so on get at these cons. They're like mini stars.
They are. They definitely are. They're stars in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
So we just kept talking and talking and talking, and eventually we exchanged our information. So whenever Chris comes out with the new fan film, I get first word of it usually.
All right, that's cool.
He's like, "I'm going to be doing this. You can put up some pics on Fanboy Theater," and I'm always happy to do that. It's kind of cool. It's kind of like seeing all the new stuff before it comes out on the market.
Right. And you were in which Question Part 2, one of his fan films?
Yes, I was actually in one of his films. He had a series of a series of fan films based on The Question.
Right.
I bear witness to the recreation of said multiverse. If the Blue Beetle in our world was killed, then perhaps during the recreation of these infinite Earths, his soul might have become a beacon which could have subsequently allowed him to fold over into our world when the multiverse collapsed again. Perhaps he might have been flung a year into our own future, which could explain his absence. And now... Yes, now this could explain his recent appearance at Wonder Woman's trial. Yes, now it all makes sense now. A is A. A is A. My God. I've got it.
With the old DC character, or actually old Charlton character, who got sent over to DC.
Jeez, you are a nerd.
Yes, yep. Good old Charlton.
I bet you knew that.
Also responsible for Captain Atom.
Oh, no kidding.
Bullet Man, which is an old one. And no, I'm thinking about another one. Am I thinking about Shazam too? No. Shazam was from, it might have been Quality Comics. I think Shazam
Yeah, I'm not sure.
My bad, Captain Marvel. I hate when people call him Shazam. I just did something I completely hate.
No, that's okay.
That Shazam guy, he's something else.
How they had to change it to Shazam because Captain Marvel was owned by, I don't know, DC or Marvel.
That might be it. Marvel
like
had Captain Marvel as well.
Yeah.
There was the green Mohawk helmet version, and then he later converted over to this kind of like Quasar-looking guy.
Right.
Which is, I'm like, true geeks will know what I'm talking about. And I mean, it's crazy. These guys just get, from these little films, they get a lot of attention, and that's what they want.
Right. Well,
I'm sure it means more to them than even money right now, because you start out, you get notoriety and attention. That's worth a lot. But money only takes you so far.
Right.
These really get you, you know, like recognition and stuff. So.
Well, I think it's a good step for a potential filmmaker to. First, you have a built-in fan base for each character, and it's also a good way to get that film noticed because so many people are interested in it, and then maybe the people that have the real money, you know, come along and take a peek and say, hey, I'm going to hire you for this or hire you for that, and so on. That's just my opinion.
I mean, that's kind of what Chris feels like. He's kind of speaking for him right now, but he tried to get his Blue Beetle project turned on to Hollywood. He actually got in touch with one of the major studios, or maybe several of the major guys out there, and he tried pitching the idea of this Blue Beetle fan film. And I think he got back some kind of mixed reviews, but most of the opinions kind of steered towards, you know, he's not really a major character, so we can't see it, you know, making an impact or, you know, having a future really, because it's such a, you know, he's kind of like a B-lister. I love Blue Beetle. Well, I don't know how you feel about him, but I've always liked Blue Beetle.
I like the character, especially when they redid the Justice League in the 80s there.
That's right. Oh, the Kevin Maguire stuff. Right. And you Keith Giffen.
But you bring up an interesting point, because that's how shallow Hollywood is. And when you're saying it's a B character, but that's how interesting is that? How many more Superman movies are you going to make? I think we got the origin down. I think, you know, anyone that doesn't even read comics or know anything about comics knows who the hell Superman is and where he's from. It's been done to death. So when, you know, someone puts on a property that maybe no one has heard about before, well, no, we're not going to go there. And it seems
exactly. It's like, you know, they're all about money. That's the bottom line.
Well, I mean, I'm a capitalist pig, like anyone else. But still,
Hollywood's all about the Benjamins, baby. It is, I'm telling you.
Well, it's a business, so I can understand that. But still, there's an amount of risk. I mean, look at the Lord of the Rings movies. Mm-hmm. That was a risk to do all three at once and to finance.
And look who directed the Lord of the Rings movies.
The guy that made that terrible King Kong film. What's that?
Films are so like off the wall and campy, and it's, you know, Peter Jackson's also Meet the Feebles. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's like an X-rated Muppets.
No, I'll have to check that
one. Dude, it is the most insane thing. If you've never seen it, everyone, please go out to your local video store or burn illegally, whatever.
Torrents.
Meet the Feebles. Screw you, Peter Jackson. I'm not supporting you. You're rich already. But Meet the Feebles, oh my God, you got drug use with the puppets. You got a Vietnam flashback with one puppet.
No shit.
It's insane. It's completely insane. And then you got Dead Alive. You ever see that one?
No.
Officially coined, I believe that it still has its title to this day as the goriest film ever. There's one scene at the end where a guy attacks a horde of about 50 zombies with a lawnmower blade.
Okay.
He just runs toward them with the lawnmower blade.
Never even heard of it.
You can just imagine the carnage happening.
What's the one he did?
It's really funny too, actually.
What's the one he did with Michael J. Fox? Was it The Frighteners or something like that?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one.
That was actually pretty good.
One. The Frighteners.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty good movie, actually.
That was another big Hollywood film. So that that was his like foray into mainstream film, wasn't it?
I think so. It's the first I ever heard of the guy.
And then you had what else did you have? You had Bad Taste. Have you ever seen Bad Taste?
No.
Telling you, man, you gotta have yourself a little marathon.
You know your films, man.
Your Peter Jackson marathon.
And then he made
I'll make you up a list.
What'd you think of that King Kong? Oy vey.
I don't know. I'm an old King Kong fan from way back as a kid, and you know, coming from the whole, you know, stop motion thing on top of the Empire State Building in black and white. It's crude and primitive and all that, but you know, I'm a little traditional when it comes to my monster films. You know, I don't tend to like remakes with monster films. Like the Halloween remake was so terrible.
Yeah, I just watched that Saturday, actually.
I mean, it was just like, it was an excuse to curse. Every other line was like an F, you know? It was like F this, F that, you're F and F. You know, and then there was, you know, the violent parts were pretty cool, but they were like ultra violent.
Yeah.
You know, they were just like, wow, brutal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I knew that was coming. I knew it. You know,
like,
you've seen his other films, Rob Zombie's other, you know, you got Devil's Rejects and what was it?
1,000 Corpses or whatever.
House of a Thousand
Yeah,
Corpses.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a big.
Those
I
are good.
love his music. Not a big fan of his films.
Yeah. They're just like, you know, he grew up in the generation of, like, you know, basically Grindhouse.
Yeah.
He remembers being like this little stoner kid back in the 70s with his sister and her sister's boyfriend. They were all stoned. They went to like a drive-in movie, and it was like some like cheesy, crappy, bad horror movie like Buckets of Blood.
Yeah.
Or like Hatchet Man. Or, you know, something stupid like that. Stereotypical stupid slasher hacker. And he incorporated like it in that feel kind of into his films now. You could see that. You know, if you go back to watch movies like The Hills Have Eyes, for example, which was a big influence on him. If you watch that one, that's a really good B film horror film. You know, I recommend that. The original Hills Have Eyes, the remake was dog shit.
Never seen either.
Like I said, these remakes, they're not good. You know.
Yeah.
I yet have to be really impressed by a remake. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, has there ever? Well, I mean, jeez, I'm trying to think myself what good remakes there were. The Fugitive, but that was back in the '90s with Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Is that considered a remake if it's off of a TV show? Or are we talking movie remakes?
Yeah. I mean, I would consider anything: a TV show, a movie. Actually, you get video game movies too.
Right.
Video game-based movies, like, for example, Tomb Raider.
Hey.
We just happen to be talking about that today.
Yeah, I know. Funny how that works.
Wow, what a coincidence. One hell of a segue. Thanks, Will.
Why were we talking about Tomb Raider?
What the hell's Tomb Raider?
What are we
Tomb
doing?
Raider.
Who are you?
Penny Raider. Shut up, dirty old
man. Hang on, I got to get my Arnold. Oh, man, I got to get better with this.
Shut up!
Oh.
You idiot!
I got to get better with the
Arnold
soundboard.
just went there on me.
You lack discipline.
I know, I'm sorry.
You son of a bitch.
I'm a flabby, girly man.
So anyways,
Girly man with your flabby arms.
I think that was all the questions I had for you. Why are you such a fanatic about fan films?
Why am I such a fanatic?
Yeah, why are you a crazy person?
Because basically, fan films are, the possibilities are endless.
Right.
That's the whole thing. When are you ever going to see a Blue Beetle fan film? When are you ever going to see a Green Arrow film? You know, it's been talked about in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Green Arrow is my second favorite superhero movie, for the records. You got Man of Steel, and then you got Green Arrow. I think maybe Daredevil is third place for me.
Your favorite character, you said?
Yeah, I think of all my favorite comic book characters. Kind of do it in order. So, you know, you get to see these characters that are just like so B-list, even Z-list, some of them.
Yeah.
You know, and they're on the screen, and they're you know, have their costume on, they're jumping them around, there's action. It's like the comic book came to life, you know? It's awesome. And that's what's so great about fan films is that fans do them.
Right.
And fans know how a film should be. If it's based on a specific character or franchise or whatever, like, you know, fans know what they want to see. And that being the case, that's what you're going to get on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get, you know, you're going to get your pretty much exact, depending on the budget, you know, tribute to the franchise of the film. So.
Yeah, that's my answer too. But one step ahead, or one step above that, I also like to see a good film made out of very limited resources, a very limited budget.
Oh yeah.
Because Hollywood can, you know, put millions of dollars into a giant piece of shit.
Oh, definitely. It's been done many times.
I like to see a film. All right, if it's a piece of shit, so what? You put, I don't know, $50,000 into it. But if it's a piece of gold, you put $50,000 into it. I'm impressed.
Oh, exactly. I mean, these people are turning out like maybe a couple $1,000.
All right.
At the most, I'd say. You know, I don't think it really goes above that.
Right, I'm not saying they're spending $50,000. I was just pulling that out of my butt.
I mean, I didn't want to insult maybe possibly Sandy Colera earlier, by saying, he was backed by, all this money. But look at that finished product.
Right.
It's like, who cares? You know what I mean? He gets dissed a lot for that, for having the backing. Like, he had $10 billion. That's why he's so damn good. There's nothing to do with his directing.
That movie shows every cent.
That's pretty much when I tell people, like your first fan film should be dead end. Start with that. Then you get a pretty good feel of what fan films are like, So. And
they need to go above that. As far as now, I mean, with the technology, we're seeing fan films coming left and right, and just most of them are not good. Is that bad to say? You get the guys that grab their home video camera and put together a really bad costume and jump up there on the screen. They just look ridiculous, and the acting is horrendous. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't in school that did Juilliard, but I could do better than many of these people that are in these films. And I don't discourage people from making fan films. I'm sure you don't. No, right.
Just, get your shit straight before you do it. Know the material, know the characters, have some sort of impressive costumes, and work with your budget to its utmost. Yeah. Even borrow a few dollars if you have to sometime. That's how it is. It's like guerrilla filmmaking. It's really, really raw and no holds barred and no rules, and you can do whatever you want, and it's just fun. Right. Fan films are fun. It sounds kind of gay, but
really, I like boners.
Fan films are fun. You know what I mean? That's what they are. It's cool to see Power Girl flying around. Yeah. I got to see that a cartoon maybe.
And her boobage hanging out there.
What were we saying there?
And the boobage,
you were going to say something dirty.
The cleavage, of course.
I knew it. I know you,
usually...
dirty old man. God almighty. All right, so what was I talking about? Back to the tits. I mean, the next question would be...
I forget.
I forget. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I only had one other question I jotted down. Why did you decide to team up for this podcast?
I decided to team up for this podcast because I know a fellow fan film guy like me. Mm-hmm. You take him pretty seriously, seriously like I do. And, we've worked together before. You've written for my website. Right. So now you're a talented guy. You're a very good writer. And it's good to be teamed up with talent. Oh. I don't work with no amateurs.
Thank you.
Talking strictly top of the line over here. I'm smooching Chris's ass right now.
You brought the tear to me, Oi.
Are you more of a robot or more of a gay?
I guess a gay?
Each cheek is getting a smooch. That's right. We only have two. God, you wanted to make things even. Gave us the two ass cheeks.
Don't be ridiculous.
What the heck was that?
I don't know. It was really bad. Okay, Arnold. Arnold's been tipping the booze. Arnold's been tipping the booze too.
Yeah, damn Arnold.
Trust me.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we know. You ever see the Conan O'Brien skit with him?
No.
It's like this big picture of him comes down and it's somebody else's lips moving.
Oh yeah, I've seen that gag before.
Like the old cartoons, like remember Space Angel?
No.
And what was the other one? Something Canyon. Comic book Ben. Speaking about comic book Ben a little bit. Let's hear about comic book Ben.
What do you want to know? That's where I run the.
I want to know what it's all about. I want to know why you're there. Yeah, I want to know what made you work for Comic Book Bin. It was like
I think the major part was just because I can go in and edit my own stuff, take care of my own stuff.
How did you initially get in touch with them? You just wrote them an email or
Google? Yeah. Contacted
them. You said you were like a reviewer or whatever.
Yeah, I wanted to. I mean, the last time I did anything with the fan films was on your site, which was a couple years ago.
A while ago.
Yeah, and then you mysteriously disappeared. And then I still wanted to do something with them, so I contacted them, but I also wanted to add my own content because I'm a control freak like that. And they worked out good.
That's the best part.
So I do, yeah.
Went into, just being able to control your own show,
And it's a place where I can put all the films that I like in one spot, and if other people want to watch them, fine. But they're really there for my enjoyment. So this guy's paying all this money for this.
Screw everybody else.
Well, selfishly, that's the true story.
That's right. You're a selfish man.
Yeah,
You're
but I admit it. Hey, I'm American. What can I tell you?
Yeah, there you go. We all suck. That's why I go by a moniker. I'd be mysterious. Fanboy Will. I'm Fanboy.
Yeah, that's another thing. When do I get a cool hip name?
What wanted me to? What's the history behind the moniker?
Well, that too. But when do I get a cool hip name?
I don't know.
Dipshit Chris. How about that?
I was thinking about ass bag. That was a pretty good ring to it. Take it, ass bag. One of my favorites is douche knocker. I actually made that one up. I say it all the time.
Douche knocker Chris and Fanboy Will.
When you get cut off in the car, I'm like, fucking douche knocker. Ass bag. I'm like, you ass bag.
Yeah, what a cool name.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. Agent Falcon. Give each other like code names.
Maybe the fans can come up with names. There'd be a contest.
We'll have a contest.
There we go.
Whoever comes up with Chris's name, we'll get some lint, a piece of gum, and a picture of Delta Burke in my wallet.
We could do something legitimate. I'm just not sure what.
You do something. We'll provide the people with a little something, for all their hard work. We're here for you people. This is for the fan film community, right. So we're here.
Word.
And we care. And that's one to grow on. Remember that shit?
No.
The old 80s, that's one to grow on. During, the cartoon breaks.
Oh, like the G.I. Joe...
Yeah, that's knowing is half the battle.
Oh, whatever.
You ever see the ones when they do the dubs on those?
No. Well, I'm sure I have. I don't remember, though.
Oh, my God, they're hilarious. That's another story. Why did you start... What got you into fan films? And what was the first fan film you saw?
Actually, my buddy Mike Hutchings and I, he used to come over to my house almost every weekend. We'd watch Star Trek when Next Gen was on.
You're the big Trekkie, right?
Yeah, I'm a Trek nerd. I don't know every name of every episode or all that stuff. But
it was in episode 13.
Yeah, no, I'm not that much of a geek. So he used to come over. The wife used to make dinner, and we watch the shows and stuff, and then we just hang out in my bar for a bit. Have some. I'd have beers. He'd have Coke, and then we decided. Then at
he was doing lines on the table.
Right. Yeah. A heroin. We had some.
Montana,
I think we had some crack on hand. Some mushrooms.
We were cracked out of our fucking skulls. And...
So, anyways, we get on the computer after. I've had a few, and he was high on caffeine, and we just came upon Dark Redemption, which was one of them that we came on, and there was a couple other ones which I got to send you the links to. They were all done with action figures, and they were just so bizarre.
Oh yeah, the old stop motion action figure ones, that like the Han Solo one.
It was Disco Lando was one of them.
Seeing you sure brings back a few things. Hello, what have we here? Welcome, I'm Lando Calrissian. You look absolutely beautiful.
Okay, I think I've actually heard of that.
And I can't remember what the other two were, but they were so bizarre and so funny, and we just laugh our asses off at them. And
they tend to be good, the humor in those.
I'll get you the links. So anyways, it was basically myself and my buddy Mike Hutchings that would sit on the computer. We found these, and he actually found Hidden Frontier, which is the Star Trek serial that lasted about 7 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You never heard of Hidden Frontier?
I've heard of it, but I didn't. I thought it was like one film.
No, it was actually an online series.
Wow.
And for the time, it was okay. The acting wasn't great, and it goes back to that whole fitting the actors into the characters.
Yeah.
Anyways, he found that, and then from there, I hooked up with Cool Collecting, which was an online news site, and I just found them through some obscure search engine, I'm sure. And
I think I remember seeing you on that site. I've been there.
It hasn't been up. It was killed a few years ago. The guy that made it didn't have time to do it anymore. And that's basically I wrote. That's where I created the Fan Film Follies, and it's a lame name, but I had to think of something that went with fan film.
Triple F.
Mm-hmm.
We're all about F's on this show. What the fuck? Do you have anybody you'd like to have on? Any ideas?
Everyone. I want everyone.
We get Aaron Schoenke. We can get Notarilli in here.
It would be cool. I actually talked to him like 5 years ago.
Schoenke?
He's the only phone interview I ever did.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He was a very nice kid. He's a man now.
He's 23 or something?
Yeah, he was a kid back then. He was a college film student.
Yeah. He's due to popular rumor, he's trying to do like his own original films out there in Hollywood right now.
Oh, I'm sure. That's what they all aim to do.
Use your talent to make money. That's a good idea. Never goes out of style. So yeah, I mean, we could have a lot of guests. Even if you're out there listening right now and you have a film you think is worthy of a review or a mention or whatever, just send it to us at the email address mentioned earlier, which was, what was it, Fan Film Podcast at info@fanfilmpodcast.com.
You got it.
And you can, leave whatever you need, dirty pictures, death threats, preferably the first two.
Preferably not of you.
I was just talking about the other day grossing my girlfriend out.
No, not you. Forget it.
Oh, okay. We don't have any naked pictures of Aaron Schoenke or Hank Braxton. We want to see their movies, not them nude.
Although we will put them on the website if you happen to have them.
Yes, we will exploit you. Please send us blackmail material immediately, because we are bastards and we will post it. You can have it. Anything else to add?
No, I think that's good. I had a good time.
I'm Mr. Worrywart all the time, but...
That's all right. That'll be your job. I'll be Mr. Optimist. I'll be the beer glass is half full. You'll be the beer glass is half empty.
Do you think I taught too much?
No. I think you second guess yourself too much.
Yeah, I want it to be a pretty equal 50-50 ratio of talking.
No, I think
I don't want to go off on some tangent. I feel like a jerk. Well, I'm getting ready for my hate mail. Trust me.
No, fanboys hate mail. Those two don't mesh.
Yeah, send them my way. Send them. So I guess we can finish up saying you can find out more about us individually in our our websites. Chris, give them the URL of Fan Film Follies.
Fan Film Follies. That's www.myspace.com/Fan Film Follies, or you can visit us over at the Comic Book Bin. That's www.comicbookbin.com, where you'll see a lot of the films that we talk about here at the Fan Film Podcast. Well,
okay, Fanboy Theater can be found at the following URL. It is www.fanboytheater. And we're not talking about the modern thing. We're talking about like theater, which is THEATRE.com. So that's fanboytheater.com. And I hope you guys enjoy.
All right, sir.
So until next time, this is Fanboy Will.
And this is Chris, who needs a cool tag name.
Yes, we'll come up with it eventually. We're off to fight crime, so we'll see you guys later.
Okay.
And really tight underwear.
Ooh.
Yes.
It's chafing.
So stay tuned, folks, for more fun, excitement here on the Fan Film Podcast. We'll let you know via our website the next upcoming show dates and guests, and that is www.fanfilmpodcast.com. That is our official website, so check that out for bios, guests, news, and anything else FFP related. So until then, take it easy.
Bye. Peace out.